News, life, and beyond. News, life, and beyond. News, life, and beyond. News, life, and beyond. We talk that talk just how we live it. You talk that talk exactly how you live it. You speak the truth, no candy coded descriptions. Nope. And the words you saying are being judged on how you bring it. Hey. Your persona sets the tone. We news, life, and beyond.
Get going. All right, news, life, and beyond. We're here with another episode. We're gonna be talking to Leo. He called Leo the Spoon Man. That's what me and my partner call him. He's like my daughter-in-law. It is her father. I shouldn't say like. I was gonna say his daughter is like my daughter. And me and Leo known each other for a few years now. Leo got a pretty good story, so let's get into it and get busy with it. So Leo, where was you born at?
I was born in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Were you born at
West Hospital on, I think it's on State Street. I could be wrong about the street, but it was Western Women's Hospital, 1974, in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Springfield, Mass. I didn't even know that about you. My people's from Mass. That's where my mom lives right now.
Yeah.
Not Springfield though, you know what I'm saying, but Dudley.
So it's crazy because I was born in Springfield, and I'm born naturally a masshole, but I'm a diehard Yankee fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I catch a lot of shit about it, but dude, me personally, like I always like people that excel and that strive to be better and be perfected. You know what I mean? Not that I am a perfect person, because I'm not, by no means. But I look up to people that, strive to be better. And when you get players like Derek Jeter, Joe DiMaggio, just the history of them. I mean, Roger Clemens, we got a lot of people on there that were born bred leaders. I like the Bulls because of Michael Jordan. I followed him out of North Carolina, and then, I became a big Bulls fan because I liked his story. Coming from failure and achieving goals that nobody thought you would is what I thought was unique about Michael Jordan. He was shot down in his high school. Couldn't make the league.
He was.
Yeah, and then turned around and became one of the top players coming out of North Carolina. And dude, when he got to the NBA, he shook it, dude. He not only shook it, but he created a history for himself that nobody can touch. I mean, you get, when you're, especially on this kind of podcast, when you get to talk about anything, you get the debate over Jordan and LeBron James. There's really no dispute, man, who the best is, who the greatest of all time is. You can't even compare the two. LeBron's great. He is. He's a great player. But he's absolutely by no means a Michael Jordan.
I think Kobe's better than LeBron. And I'm not a basketball. I don't watch sports. The only sport I watch is boxing. Now, mind you, I really think Kobe is a GOAT.
Kobe's up. Kobe, I like Kobe. I put him in the order of Michael Jordan and Kobe. And then Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, there's a lot of players. I mean, Magic Johnson, a lot of people that have them great titles.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into your life. Fuck that. Yeah. So were you born into a mom and a dad family?
Yeah, my mother and father were teenage sweethearts. My mom was I think 14 and my dad was 13, or my mom was 13 and my dad was 12 when they met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got
young, huh?
My dad went into the service. He got drafted to go into Vietnam, and he married my mother. Went to Vietnam. He had a big story, of his life to turn around. One thing I do want to say, because we're about to dive into my life and talk about some stuff that, I went through. And a lot about my history. A lot of, people don't, but you do. One thing I want to say is that my name in Italian, ritrovato, means refound or found again. That's the definition of ritrovato in Italian, and it's a it's unique when I learned all this after I went to prison. I started searching my ancestry and doing a lot of research on my name and uh, it was unique how I came up with all this, and then I just wanted to say that because my story, you'll see that I went from being lost to being refound again.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
did you have any brothers and sisters?
I have two older sisters, Malia and Tressa. Tressa was born in Troy, New York, and Malia was born in Springfield, Mass. Malia was my oldest.
Okay.
Um, my parents, I think they lived in Agawam at the time, and my dad, I think, owned a bar at that time. They used to do foosball tournaments out of the bar in Agawam, Mass. But they bounced between. My father originated from Troy, New York, Ticonderoga, New York, and my mother, they came up from that area in Troy, New York,
Okay.
and kind of moved down further south to Connecticut. I mean, to Massachusetts, and then Connecticut, and I still got family that's up there in Mass.
Did you go to school in Mass, or by the time did you?
No, so we left Massachusetts in '73. I think we moved to Texas in '70. No, I'm sorry. I was born in '74. It was 80, 74, 78. I'm sorry, '78 when we moved to Texas. Four, yeah.
What made your family want to move to Texas?
My dad came out of Vietnam and he was addicted to heroin.
Okay.
And he, was trying to change his life around. There was some things that were going on in his life, and he just wanted to try a geographical change. So he got us, kids out of there, and my mom and him moved to Texas and started all over. I have no idea why. I think he landed a job in Texas is what brought him
Oh,
down.
okay.
He wound up, searching for jobs and then got a job, and then they sent him down there, and you know, uh, that's what originally brought him to Texas.
Is that how you guys have all this family down there, or is that
We were the first family to come down here from up north. All of my family originated up in New England or in New York.
okay?
So they either came from Massachusetts, Connecticut, or New York. I think we had a few family members in Pennsylvania at one time, but all of my family originated up that way.
Oh, okay. So when you went
I,
to Texas, that's when you started going to school, or
yeah, I started school at Houston School in Greenville, Texas. I grew up in the hood in Greenville, right in Polk Street. Uh,
okay?
I can remember as a kid, our house getting broken into all the time, gunshots popping off, sirens. Um, yeah, I mean, it wasn't no different than being up in Troy, New York. I mean, if you know anything about Troy or Albany in that area,
No,
um,
but your dad coming from the Vietnam War, moving to a place like that, hearing all the guns and stuff, did it fuck with him?
I think there was some. I think coming out of Vietnam, my dad had a lot of things fucking with him. He definitely had some PTSD. And he tried to cope with his pain like most addicts do, and do what they do best, and that's run. Try to
Right.
numb. Nobody really tries to face it until they're ready to. And then they face it and deal with it. But it's hard for me to elaborate on what he went through. You know what I mean? I could tell you about stories, but it's kind of like me telling you about prison.
Right, right.
Got to be there. You got to go through it yourself to really, to
Yeah,
really,
really understand the effects.
yeah,
Vietnam fucked up a lot of people.
yeah. I mean, it definitely played a role on him.
So you're going to school in Texas now. Did you like get along with everybody? Was you a troublemaker? Was you a shithead? What? How was school like?
I mean, for the most part of my younger life, I was a troublemaker and a shithead. I grew up first of all, when you're a Yankee and you move into Southern Territory, they don't particularly like that right off the bat, you know. So here we were a large Italian family. We moved down to Texas to where rednecks are, and we moved into a town that was prominently growed cotton. You know what I mean? Like they were, that was what they did in Greenville. They grew cotton. It was famous for that.
Wow.
So, you know, there was a lot of slave activity and stuff back then. I mean, not when I got there, but the history behind it had it in there. So, yeah, they were very picky back then. And when we moved in as Yankees, we were already frowned upon. And then they call you when you move here, if you're visiting, you're just a Yankee. But if you move here, you're considered a damn Yankee. So, yeah.
So was there a lot of fighting and stuff in elementary school and stuff like that? You didn't get along with anybody?
Well, I grew up in a prominently black neighborhood, and most of my friends were black, you know, growing up.
Oh, sorry.
You know, so we didn't see, you know, like my mom and dad didn't teach us color like that. You know what I mean? They didn't, you know, the area that we grew up in was a racist place, but our family wasn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think when I grew up there and I went to school, I did have to go through a lot of fighting. I did, you know, battle a lot. But I think once the kids that I started going to school with got to know me, you know, realized that I was part of the hood and I was part of the neighborhood, and, you know, I was going to stand up just, you know, just like anybody else would, you know, stand up for myself. But, you know, my dad would bring the kids in and, you know, treat them like family too, you know. One of my best friends growing up in Greenville was Tater Beecham. And his mother, we just went to his funeral. His mother's funeral last summer. And dude, it broke my heart because this woman treated me like her own kid.
Yeah.
So like we didn't see, you know, things the way people in Texas were seeing things back then. You know, but
what's good, people? Steve J here, News Life and Beyond. We selling merch, got all kinds of stuff: t-shirts, hoodies, hats, sneakers, tumblers, cups, Funko Pops, you name it, we got it.
What's good, people? This is Adam A, one half of News Life and Beyond. I just wanted you guys to know that you can find us at a lot of places. You can find us on Clapper, Lemonade, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, favorite it, but most of all, YouTube. Go on YouTube, look us up, News Life and Beyond. Push the button, subscribe and like, please, and share it out to the world. You can also call us 959-951-9117, or you can support us. Buy some merch. We got shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, sneakers, hats, keychains, Funko Pops, bracelets, mugs, tumblers. Shit, we can make your grandmother a pair of thongs if you want. But for all the love and all the support from everybody that has, we love you. We love you, we love you, we love you. Adam A, Steve J, Pooh Bear, Pooh Audio. We out.
Discussion all depending on the mood of the person in the interview. As long as you keep it true, don't be lying for some views, cause we might just know you in real life and beyond. Lights, camera, it's on. News, life and beyond. Real life, real people, real discussions. Different people saying something. Everybody got a story to tell, so tell Steve J and Adam A, you tell. News, life and beyond. Real life, real people, real discussions. Different people saying something.